of its student athletes, alumni, and fans of our member.
Good afternoon, again, everyone, and welcome to Highmark Stadium for the 2014 Women's PAC Soccer Championship here on the PAC Sports Network. I'm Dave Floyd. Joining me again is John DeBruzzo. Cameraman is Dave Keeling. Producer is Randy Gore. I want to thank those of you who tuned in for the men's contest earlier today, where Thomas More was able to pull out a 1-0 victory over Grove City in that one. And again, here in the women's matchup, it's Thomas More and Grove City. The Saints, the top-seeded team in the President's Athletic Conference, coming in at 19-1. They were 9-0 in the PAC in the regular season. Grove City 9-2 overall, 8-1 in the President's Athletic Conference in that regular season. And, of course, both of the teams coming off of semifinal victories. The games occurring on Wednesday of this past week. And, John, when you look at these two teams, boy, this Thomas More team is certainly tough. As we said, 19-1. They lost one game on the road at Ohio Northern, 1-0. They have won every other game by at least 2 goals, conceding only one other goal along the way. A school record 18 shutouts already. Boy, it's not going to be easy for the Wolverines here today if they're going to want to knock off the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, looking on paper, Thomas More, 3-time defending champion. The record says a lot right there, averaging so many goals a game. Grove City, you got to give them credit how far they've come this season. You know, they started out, I think the first 10 games only won 1. Now they're playing for a championship. And with that being said, you have to look at your opponent in that, hey, we're both here fighting for the same thing. Everything before today's game means nothing. We got to show today and earn that championship.
Yeah, absolutely. This is where it all comes down to. And as you said, Thomas More seeking their 4th straight PAC title. They have 4 overall, so they'll be looking for their 5th overall. And Grove City had PAC titles 5 in 7 years, 95, 96, 97, and then 2000 and 2001. So they'll be seeking their 6th President's Athletic Conference title overall. How'd they get here? Well, the number 1 seeded Saints took care of business on their home field, Bank of Kentucky Field in Crestview Hills, a 5-0 victory over W&J. Olivia Huber, who we'll talk plenty about, got things started for the Saints, and then they just rolled from there. Grove City, on the other hand, took them a little bit longer. 0-0 against Westminster through regulation and overtime, and into the shootout. It took 9 rounds before Grove City won that shootout 7-6. And on the victory there, it was Lacey Harkrader, the freshman forward for the Wolverines, that were able to pull that one out. But we're going to step aside here for a moment on the PAC Sports Network, and when we come back, we will bring you our triple starting lineups. It's the PAC Sports Network and the Women's PAC Soccer Championship.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
And now we would like to
Welcome back to the pregame show here on the PAC Sports Network, getting you set for the Women's Soccer Championship between the Thomas More Saints and the Grove City Wolverines. It's time for today's starting lineups, brought to you by Triple Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living. Starting first with the top-seeded Thomas More Saints. In goal, a sophomore from Florence, Kentucky, Megan Barton. The junior forward leading scorer on this team and in the conference, 33 goals coming in, Olivia Huber. Sophomore midfielder from Alexandria, Kentucky, Taylor Robinson. A sophomore midfielder from Cincinnati, Nicole Brown. Julia Flaggy Eccles, the freshman forward, also a huge goal total on the year for the Saints. On defense, a junior from Cincinnati, Ohio, Abby Osborne. At midfield, a sophomore from Cincinnati, Erica LaRosa. At midfield, a junior from Cold Springs, Kentucky, Kate Owens. A senior midfielder from Cincinnati, Sam Work. A senior defender from Columbus, Indiana, Emily Buchanan. And on defense, a senior from Alexandria, Kentucky, Emily Sanker. And John, you have the starting lineups for the Grove City Wolverines.
Yeah, Grove City's being led by longtime coach Melissa Lammy. In goal for the Wolverines is going to be a senior 00, Christy Lathrop. Number 4, a freshman midfielder, Emily Flanagan. Also at midfield, a junior, number 5, Kristen Thomas. Defense, number 7, Molly Weitzel. She's a senior. Also a senior in the midfield is Sarah Flanagan, number 8. That's Emily's sister. In the midfield, junior, number 13, Madison Zayacek. Number 18 is Abby Mathis. She's a junior midfielder. I missed senior midfielder number 14, Holly Spofford. Back up in the midfield, freshman Lindsay Hutton, number 25. And closing it out is a sophomore on defense, number 28, Jordan White.
And I failed to mention, of course, head coach Jeff Cummings. And we saw him in the men's game, also the women's coach in his 9th season, leading both programs. He's PAC Coach of the Year on the women's side in 2013 last year, and also in 2011. Want to, of course, make mention that these two teams, as the men's did, met just about a week ago, or not much more than that, at Bank of Kentucky Field in Crestview Hills. And the Thomas More Saints secured the regular season PAC championship and the top seed in the PAC tournament with a 2-0 victory against Grove City, their closest game since a 2-0 victory back in mid-September. So Grove City gave them a run for their money, but a goal at the 23-17 mark by junior midfielder Kate Owens, an unassisted goal, gave Thomas More the lead, and then Olivia Huber was able to add an insurance goal at just about the 50-minute mark when she found the back of the net off a cross from senior midfielder Sam Work. So that's the last time these two teams played. And when you look at the series, the last time Grove City was able to beat Thomas More back in October of 2009 on the 24th to be exact, a 2-0 win at Thomas More. The all-time series, Thomas More leads it 10-2-4 are the Saints. So getting set for the anthem here. We're going to step aside for a moment. We'll be back with kickoff on the PAC Sports Network.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life, and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward, and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
My name is Michael Stevens. I am a junior biology major, and I'd like to become a physician. Thomas More is awesome. You get so many opportunities here in the way of academics, on-campus activities, athletics. You really get to know your professors. There are a lot of really difficult classes, but I can honestly say that the education that I've gotten out of them is unsurpassed, and I really don't think I could have gotten it in any other institution.
Back here at Highmark Stadium, about to wrap up our pregame show as we get set for the start of the 2014 Women's Soccer PAC Championships. Starting lineups and anthems just occurred down here on the field below. The teams are shaking hands and we are getting set for the start of this one. And before we get going, definitely have to, we mentioned Olivia Huber and Julia Flaggy-Eccles, the years they've been having. You got to mention this in the pregame. There's no doubt about it. In 20 games this year, 33 goals and 14 assists from Olivia Huber, 80 points. She's averaging 4 points a game. That is just a staggering number. And then you throw in 22 and 15 and 59 points from Julia Eccles. That's fantastic performance from those two players. And obviously for Grove City, you know who you need to shut down in this one.
Absolutely. I was just going to say, keys to the game, real simple. Thomas More, you get Huber the ball. Grove City, you stop Huber and take the ball away from her as much as you can.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I was talking with head coach Jeff Cummings about the men's team. He was a little bit surprised at how balanced his men's team has been offensively all year long. And when we got to talking about the women's game here, the second game of our doubleheader, I said, not so much with the women's side of things. And he said, no, I didn't. I knew these two would be good together, speaking of Huber and Flaggy-Eccles, but I didn't quite know that they were going to be this good. And boy, it's been a heck of a year for those two so far here today. So.
When you look at Grove City on the opposite side, they have a handful of girls who have scored around 5 goals a game. They like to spread it around, which is going to be good for them. Hopefully someone maybe out of the ordinary steps it up with a big goal today.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, I mean, you've got 4 with 5 goals. I mean, just a balanced attack all the way around. But when you're Thomas More and you're scoring 94 goals on the year as opposed to, the goals by Grove City a little bit different, not quite going to reach that number. You're going to have a lot of big-time goal scorers. So that's about it for us here on the pregame. We are set for kickoff.
I forgot one more key to the game.
And what's that?
No handballs 5 minutes in.
I can't imagine we're going to see a start to it like we did in the men's game. But we are underway here, the 2014 PAC Women's Soccer Championship game. And of course, what John is alluding to is a handball resulted in a red card inside the box early on in the men's game. And right away, we have some pressure here from Thomas More across into the box and popped up into the air right at the top of the 6-yard box here. Batted around, Grove City trying to get it out of danger. Can't quite do it. And finally, they do. But just for a moment. And now they blast it out over the touchline on the far side, right at midfield. It'll be a throw in here for the Thomas More Saints.
Yeah, Thomas More coming out pretty quick here, moving the ball right down the field, and it looks like they want to, make their presence known here and show Grove City that they're going to have to step it up defensively.
There's Thomas More with the top of the 18. Shot there from Erica LaRosa, the sophomore midfielder, and that one's gobbled up, by Christy Lathrop, the goalkeeper for Grove City. Second all-time at Grove City with 33 career victories.
So that right there, you got a veteran keeper in net against the team. Like we said, on paper, it shows a lot so far what they've done this season. They're scoring at ease, it looks like. It's going to be a big afternoon for her.
So Thomas More with it again, far side. Now they move it in. Taylor Robinson for somewhere to go. Collision there about 30 yards from goal. Now it's Flaggy-Eccles. Tries to play it in. And it's picked up again by Lathrop, the senior from Flemington, New Jersey. Boots it away, and it's going to bounce across midfield. And now on the far side, giving chase there is Nicole Brown. Brown, a player that Coach Jeff Cummings said has been banged up just about all year long, both her and Elise Duggins. So you'll see them on the field, but you also see them plenty of time on the sidelines. They've been battling some injuries throughout the course of this season, so we'll look for that and how they rotate those two players in and out. And here's a ball played in by Thomas More, Sam Work, and again, Lathrop has to gobble that one up. And as you mentioned, we expect her to be busy this afternoon.
Yeah, the opposite end, it doesn't seem like Thomas Moore's goalkeeper is going to have to worry too much this afternoon. I mean, she hasn't faced too many shots the last 10 games.
Nah, she really, in conference play, Thomas More, of course, yet to concede a goal.
Just think about how these two teams got here the last game. You know, you got Thomas More, they kind of, breezed past and got past that semifinal game. Grove City, on the other hand, 9 sessions of a shootout. They really earned their spot here today. And again, especially when you look back at how they started this season, struggling to win, got on a roll, especially conference play, which obviously is the most important time of the year to get going. Hopefully for them, they want to carry that momentum going this afternoon.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But when you look at this one and talking with Coach Cummings earlier in the week, he said, this is a Grove City team that they played us tough. There's no doubt about it. We didn't run away with it in the last regular season game. Just a 2-0 victory, one of the closest we've had this season. He said this is a team that's only 2 years removed from winning an NCAA tournament game. So that's a Grove City program that has been strong for many years, and he expects a fight today. He doesn't expect a blowout in this one, as you can imagine from a championship game.
And the fact that game was only a week ago and still fresh in the heads of both teams, it should be a factor, especially Grove City. They're going to want that revenge and show and prove that they deserve to be here.
A throw in here on the near side for Grove City. Are we going to have a free kick? An infraction there on the Saints, and a free kick defensively here for Grove City, and it's Jordan White. Plays it up, and it's flicked on there for Grove City by Catherine Kuzelis. And eventually Thomas More able to get it upfield. Now Grove City regains possession. It's Flanagan, Sarah Flanagan. And the ball is cleared away out of bounds. Throw in here for Grove City. We'll try to keep things clear as it looks like a deflection. It's actually going to be a throw in for Thomas More, but the sisters Emily Flanagan and Sarah Flanagan, freshman and senior respectively, both starting in this contest for Grove City. So try to keep those straight all afternoon long here for you. Thomas More. Now the Wolverines with it for a moment. And a foul called here on Thomas More. Free kick from, looks like inside the center circle here, for the Wolverines, or just outside of it.
So far, it's been pretty much all Thomas More on the attack. Grove City had a glimpse moment there before they turned the ball back over.
Here's a ball played in, flicked on, but it's going to go right to the goalkeeper, Megan Barton. And boy, if you deflect that a little bit more toward the right, Sarah Flanagan may have an opportunity there. Instead, we're going the other way with Thomas More. Here's Flaggy Eccles. She makes a move around a couple defenders, but then a good defensive play by Holly Spofford. And now it's up into the air, and goalkeeper Lathrop is there.
Great footwork by Eccles. She's touched the ball a lot in this early part of the game so far. You can see, why we're probably going to say her name a lot today.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I'm sure we will, and I'm sure we'll eventually get to talking about Olivia Huber as well. She hasn't touched it too often here in these opening moments, but I'm sure she'll get her fair share. Here's Flaggy Eccles. Moves it. Now they switch fields. Far side, it's Emily Buchanan had it there for a moment. And now Kate Owens moves it to the far side, cross one in. Huber gets a head on it, but over top of her head. And now Grove City tries to clear. Thomas More tries to play it back in. Huber slides. Now it's at the feet of Olivia Huber. And Grove City clears for the moment.
Grove City's defense also, they're on their toes early part of this game. So far have done a great job not giving too many, big opportunities to Thomas More.
442 shots on the season for this Thomas More squad, so putting plenty toward the opponent's goal. It's a good defensive play there initially by Grove City. Thomas More trying to regain possession.
400 some shots. Wow. How do you prepare as a goalkeeper? Do you just stand in front of the net and let every teammate fire shots off for a game like this? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's certainly tough to prepare, but as you said, seeing them just a week ago, I'm sure is a positive for this Grove City squad. And head coach Melissa Lammy, excuse me. Near side now for Thomas More. Sanker, then Work, and now a couple players converge here on the near sideline. And Sarah Flanagan to throw it in. Grove City trying to mount some offensive pressure here. 9 minutes gone in the opening half. Ball played down toward the corner, and it's going to go out of bounds for a throw in here for Thomas More. Sanker to throw it in. Grove City will try to box them in. Nice long throw there by Sanker to get it out of danger. Grove City controls for the moment, but then that was Abby Mathis who played it out of bounds. As we mentioned in the open, Thomas More seeking their 4th straight conference crown and trip to the NCAA tournament. The Saints last season in 2013 advanced all the way for the first time in school history to the NCAA sectional semifinals, where they lost 2-1 against Capital University out of the OAC. They'll seek to go even further if they're able to get past Grove City today here and into the NCAA tournament.
So far, both teams quick with the throw-ins, quick with setting up the ball. They're not taking their time. They're trying to, looks like each team wants to catch their opponent off and take them off their game.
Moving it now for Grove City is Kristen Thomas. The junior forward has it knocked away, but it's going to be a throw-in down in the corner here for the Wolverines, and Thomas will take it. Finds Weitzel. Back to Thomas, tries to play a cross in. It's short, headed away by Thomas More, and it'll bounce out of bounds for another Wolverine throw-in.
Well, besides the fact that the sun has officially gone away and went to bed, and we got lights on here now, what happened to Grove City's cheering section? Did they all pack it up and leave after the men's game?
I don't know. We have a few remaining here. There's a shot, and a shot on goal for Grove City by Lindsay Hutton. That's stopped by Megan Barton, but you're right. The fans that we do have remaining here for the Wolverines in their seats, not quite standing, at least yet, here to cheer on their women's team.
Not as rowdy, at least, as that.
Right, not yet. And, of course, I guess whenever you have a start like we did in the men's game with the red card and the penalty kick and all that early on, that'll get a crowd energized as well.
I can't tell you that, this great facility we're at here today, where the concession stand is to our left, there's indoor seating, so they might be getting rowdy inside there and staying warm with the hot chocolate. I saw at halftime, or in between games, excuse me, a lot of hot chocolates flowing today.
I believe it a cool November afternoon here at Highmark Stadium. Pittsburgh skyline across the river. Grove City with a throw-in on the far side. Thomas has it taken away here, and Thomas More now controls, looking to switch fields, and they do. Good movement there by the Saints. Sanker, the defender, coming up into the attack. Going to play one across along the ground. Huber tries to drop it back, and the Saints do retain possession for a moment, and then Sarah Flanagan is able to take it away.
Again, Grove City's defense great, but at this point, don't you want to just clear the ball out of your zone and get it downfield?
Yeah, a lot of times whenever you're under that type of attack, you want to try to just get it out of danger at all costs, and finally they are able to work it up past midfield, if just for a moment, as Thomas More gets the throw again. Collision there, Huber and White. White wins that battle. Gets it up toward midfield, but Thomas More controls. Buchanan, far side now. Cross in by the Saints. And a good job there. Middle of the field by Kuzelis. Kuzelis again. Gets it outside. And now they play a ball down near corner for Sarah Flanagan. She moves it inside. Opportunity maybe here for Abby Mathis. She turns and tries to take a shot, but it's going to be easily gobbled up there by Barton, the sophomore goalkeeper out of Villa Madonna High School in Kentucky. Grove City trying to find possession on the attack again. Thomas More takes it away, though. And Abby Osborne will play it long.
Thomas More, a very quick team. It seems like they're allowing themselves time to set it up. Grove City, on the other hand, they want to set up the crisp pass, get their people in position, but it seems like Thomas More's too quick and not allowing that to happen just yet.
Yeah, Wolverines haven't had a ton of possession to this point, but they have had an opportunity or two. Here as we're about 1/3 of the way through the first half here in the women's championship game. About to tick down toward 30 minutes left to play in this first half. Cross attempt there is blocked down in the corner by Grove City's Molly Weitzel. It'll be a throw in here for the Saints. Taken by Sam Work. Now she gets it back on the 1-2 with Huber. And her cross attempt is going to go off the side of the foot and out over the end line for a goal kick here for Grove City. Talked about the 5 PAC titles for Grove City. Also been in the NCAA tournament 3 times in 02, 03, and 2012, and the ECACs 6 times as well. So seen plenty of postseason action under Coach Lammy. Going to continue that this year.
You want to say that they've been here before, but not here. This is a whole new experience for the conference, and these teams getting to play on a proven soccer facility, unlike playing at a home field on a college campus.
All right, absolutely, and this is maybe even in Coach Cummings, mentioned this, is that it's a little bit shorter as well, only 110 yards long, so I'm sure the players hardly realize that at all, but a little bit of a difference in dimensions of the field and obviously the venue as well. One of those rare arenas when they bring out the football goal post. It's not quite designed for a game like that, but it works just the same at times.
In this field, when it was built, a lot of people in the town didn't think it'd see that much action. It would just sit here. And then the women's professional football team here, the Passion, they use it during the summer. The Riverhounds also. And now a lot of the high school teams are using it for football as well. But awesome to see, college soccer being played here. Great day. I mean, other than the gloominess here. But, this is what it was built for.
Absolutely. Great venue here for the 2014 PAC Soccer Championships. It's the women's game going on right now in front of us. 28 minutes to play in the first half. Grove City and Thomas More still scoreless. Sarah Flanagan with it for the Wolverines. trying to take it to the corner and hopefully get it across. Good defensive play there by Thomas Moore. Some of the Grove City fans wanted a foul, but Sanker was just able to body up there and get it upfield and out of danger for her team.
When you think about the people driving by today, if you ask them where Thomas Moore is, do you think many people know how far they've come to get to this game today?
I'm not sure that they would.
Grove City, they heard of at least. You know, it's right up the road. You know, the typical Pittsburgher, I'm saying.
Right, yeah, absolutely. As Flaggy Eccles comes down the right side there, trying to get it in front of the net here if she can off the defender, and she shields the defender out of bounds. And the team from Crestview Hills, Kentucky has a corner kick coming here. About a 5-hour drive talking with the player of the game in the men's championship. Pat Jacobson, the goal scorer, he said they had yesterday evening. Here's the corner kick coming from the far side for the Saints. In-swinger with that left foot. Flaggy Eccles able to keep it in play. Deflection, and it's going to go just wide to the left. And a goal kick here for Grove City. Almost great opportunity there in front for the Saints.
And again, like I mentioned in the men's game, you know, corner kicks like that, the keeper's got to get her players in position now to not block her. And, you know, kind of like hockey, when you get screened and you're taking yourself out of position, you're going to give up the feet, inches, whatever, the ball gets through, and that's going to hurt you, obviously.
There's no doubt about it. Have to be able to communicate, get things organized from that position, particularly on set pieces. As goalkeeper Lathrop there punts it away across midfield. Going to be headed away by Erica LaRosa, but out of bounds. Throw in for the Wolverines.
Yeah, we saw that communication in the men's game. Keys for Thomas Moore, he never stopped talking to his players and got those guys in position. So far, haven't seen that much communication from, you know, either women's goalkeepers so far, but a lot of time to play here. Never know what we're going to see.
Yeah, just ticking down close to 25 minutes left in the opening half here. Scoreless from Highmark Stadium in the championship game. A foul called here, free kick for Grove City.
Another difference is the whistles. It seemed like the men's game, a lot of stoppages. It was very physical, which...
Here's a physical play in front of the net there.
I was gonna
right
say,
on cue.
But there was a lot of whistles in that first game. So far, you know, in this contest, big difference, not as many whistles. Time keeps rolling by.
Kevin Cook, Nathan Utz, Maria Penska, your referees here in game number 2.
That men's game, we would have saw, what, a red card and at least 2 yellow cards by now.
That's right. Yeah, we did have, of course, the one red and a good many yellows in that first contest of the doubleheader. Nothing yet here in this one. As Sarah Flanagan to throw it in for Grove City. Trying to find Molly Weitzel, and it's knocked away by the Thomas Moore defender. Weitzel to throw to Kuzelis. Middle of the field now. It's knocked back out to the near side. Weitzel has it again. Good move around the defender. Finds Mathis, and now looking for Flanagan. And thought for a moment Flanagan was able to knock it off of the defender, but unable to do so, and a goal kick here for Thomas Moore. On goal kick there. Taken by Sanker up toward midfield. Flaggy Eccles giving chase and trying to get it to the far side, looking for Nicole Brown. And it's going to go out over the touchline for a throw-in. Now Flaggy Eccles again. Good touch again. And on the return pass, too far out in front, and Grove City tries to move it the other direction. Now intercepted by Thomas Moore.
Some great passing by Thomas Moore. Just it seems like they're kicking the ball a little bit too hard, and the ball's just passing up the next player. But they're very good passing so far.
And the most difficult part of the game to solve sometimes in that final third, and they've done a pretty good job of it this season, and not quite here yet tonight, but or this afternoon I should stay still.
It's easy to think it's nighttime. The lights are on.
That's right. We're getting into that point. As Grove City controls here. Wolverines move it forward, far side. Kristen Thomas, and Thomas is knocked down. Foul called on Thomas Moore, and got a stoppage of the clock here as referee talking to Molly Weitzel, and I'm not sure if there's some blood. It looks like maybe there is on her left knee, as they're going to have to sub her out, or at least get that taken care of before they send her back in. And the athletic training staff have to make quick work to get her right back onto the field.
It looks like they wrapped her left knee.
And that's all it takes. Right back out there she goes. Now free kick here, and the clock started once again. Top of the 18-yard box here. Nice job there defensively by Erica LaRosa, taking a hit. Still able to clear it away, and it's up to Flaggy Eccles near side now. Sam Work trying to sneak around Weitzel. Instead, it's cleared away by Grove City for the moment. Now middle of the field for the Wolverines, Spofford. Over to Hutton. And Hutton moves it again. Emily Flanagan. Inside to Spofford. And now Thomas Moore controls. Saints looking to string something together here in that final third. Have controlled a good portion of the play to this point. Although Grove City has had maybe a couple of chances as well. Foul called here by the center referee, and a free kick for Grove City coming out.
Yeah, Grove City's had some chances. Not as many as Thomas Moore at this point, but they're definitely looking to move the ball forward here.
And there's that student section you were talking about a little bit as they start to
were getting warm and
rise up. That's right. I think I see head men's coach Michael Dreves right down in the middle of it. So you'd love to see that coming back out to support the women's team as we tick down, more than halfway gone in this one, close to 20 minutes to play in the first half. And a foul called here on Thomas Moore. Side referee makes the call. And we are headed out once again with a free kick from Grove City. Wolverines started out, as you had mentioned at the open, with a tough stretch. They won their first game and then went winless in their next 9. But they played some tough competition. Number 5, Carnegie Mellon, they took to double overtime. Number 2, Messiah, not too far removed from national championships there, only a 2-0 loss. So they certainly challenged themselves in non-conference play, and it came back and served them well, going 8-1 once the PAC began.
Yeah, I think any coach will tell you, no matter what sport you play, you want to play that tough non-conference schedule to get you ready for conference play. You know, those games, they're not meaningless off the bat, but, you know, they're going to get you prepared for the more meaningful games that will get you to, you know, this stage, a championship game.
Absolutely. I mean, look at Grove City 1-8, 1-8-2 in those games, and now they have an opportunity still to go to the NCAA tournament with a win today. Flanagan on the counterattack, and she finally is tracked down by the ensuing defenders there from Thomas Moore, and it's out of bounds for a Saints throw-in.
At the same time, you got to look towards your seniors, that stage of the season, to, you know, remind everybody that, hey, these losses don't mean anything yet. We got the real heart of the schedule coming up. You know, stay focused. You don't want to lose focus that early in the year. You know, luckily for Grove City, they caught fire at the right time, and look where they are now.
Absolutely, on the cusp of an NCAA tournament appearance with a victory. And it looks like head coach Cummings of Thomas More is get a talking to from the center referee here. As I don't think the Saints were too happy with some of the calls in the first game, the men's game. And I'm sure it's, obviously these are new referees, but I'm sure maybe the other referees were here to watch a little bit of that one as well. So he's not going to have it. Here is the center referee.
Well, might as well clear the air now. Let everything be said and get the game rolling.
We are rolling once again here. The free kick from Jordan White. Lofts it. The center of the field. Bounces around. Flanagan after it. Now dishes it off there to Abby Mathis. Back to Thomas, and now it's Thomas More clearing away. Good job stepping up there defensively by Madison Zayacek. But then eventually cleared back out by the Saints once more. 18:20 and counting to play in the opening half. As we have two players going down with the slide there, both Huber and White. And the ball's going to ricochet out of bounds, and a throw in here for Weitzel.
So the possession of this game has kind of gone towards Grove City recently. I mean, they're keeping the ball in the middle of the field, trying to make the push, but Thomas More hasn't been, on the Grove City side as much as they were those first, couple minutes of the game.
Yeah, and the Saints, while they controlled a lot early on, maybe one or two really good opportunities, but not a ton of chances that you just were holding your breath thinking one was going to find its way into the back of the net. So Grove City has done a nice job defensively and now starting to possess, as you said, a little bit better. And one thing that's interesting, talking with Coach Cummings earlier in the week, I said, Coach, this is a team that really hasn't been challenged other than, you lose the one game 1-0 and you haven't been in a one-goal game since. That was back in September. What happens if you go down a goal or, is that a concern at all? And he said, oh, that's certainly a cause for concern. I don't know what we'll do if we go down a goal or if we're in that tight game. So, and we'll see as we get further and further along as this stays scoreless, or maybe if Grove City is able to poke one home, kind of how the Saints are going to respond.
Absolutely. Certainly be interesting to see Grove City get on the board first and how Thomas More would respond to that.
Yeah, conceding, of course, just the 2 goals all season long. And here's the Saints on the attack, trying to get one of their own. Ball lofted toward the back post and just misses high and wide to the right. But maybe an opportunity there that if it dropped down in time, it would have found its way in over goalkeeper Lathrop.
The wind's not a big factor in this game, but the right push of wind could have knocked that ball right in. That was about a foot off.
Yeah, especially down here in this location, you get plenty coming off of the Monongahela.
With the actual mount of Mount Washington in our backs here.
That's right. And here's Flaggy Eccles for the Saints. Trying to run it, Emily Flanagan, and able to knock it off of Flanagan out of bounds for a corner kick again here for Thomas More. So a couple in the early going for the Saints.
Well, there's Grove City. The fan section has arrived.
They are back.
Missed the first half, but they've showed up now. First half of the half, I should say.
As the corner kick here from Thomas More is going to find its way behind the net. So not well executed there by the Saints, and now it'll be a goal kick for the Wolverines. Ticking down close to 15 minutes to play, nearly 2/3 of the way gone here in the opening half. Still scoreless between Thomas More and Grove City women. Of course, these two schools battled in the men's championship as well. A goal by Pat Jacobson giving the Thomas More Saints their 6th straight PAC crown. And we have a whistle here, free kick for the Wolverines. Another infraction there on the Saints. early on here. Just a quick check of the stats. 4 shots for Thomas More, 2 of them on goal, 3 shots for Grove City, all on goal. So we've turned this one into a bit of an evenly played contest. This one's played into the box, cleared for the moment. Kuzelis keeps it in, and now it's Mathis trying to do something with it, but instead it's poked out toward this near sideline, and Thomas More able to clear. Other direction now, White just blasted out of play. And just one quick note on the stats, 9 fouls for Thomas More to just 1 for Grove City, so maybe that's what head coach Jeff Cummings was disputing with the center referee.
Yeah, not too many whistles early off the bat. They've picked up a little bit. So like I said before, probably wanted to get his 2 cents in, you know, before he got really unhappy with some calls and maybe made a bigger scene. But might as well, you know, get it out in the open now. Have that open communication that we were talking about. Hey, I guess the coaches and the officials have to communicate as well.
Absolutely, as Thomas More tried to build an attack, swinging it to the far side of the field, but now it's Grove City with it. They try to play a long ball down to the near corner for Sarah Flanagan. She gives chase, but it's just going to be played out of bounds there by Abby Osborne, the junior defender from Cincinnati. And now Thomas More plays the ball long. Huber giving chase. She gets it. Flaggy Eccles with her. And she moves it to Flaggy Eccles. Tries to play it back to Huber. Huber has it. Now it's taken away. Good job defensively there by Zayacek. And now a ball played in, deflected. Off. I thought it was Zayacek, but it must have been off the foot of Allie Wimmers into the game for Thomas More. And it's a goal kick for Grove City. Is checking in for the Saints is freshman forward Abby Stadmiller. 5'7" out of Burlington, Kentucky.
Just when Grove City their defense looked to get out of position and might have, you know, made a mistake, they got right back into it and cleared the ball. So, you know, kudos to the defense for Grove City and to the offense too, because they've been pushing the ball downfield since those first couple minutes of the game.
And no doubt about it. Now on the other end, Sam Work picks up the foul for Thomas More, and free kick here for Grove City. Taking it is Abby Mathis.
They never did get that saw in between games to cut the wall out, but.
And here's the ball played in long, and it's going to carry out wide left and high and out of bounds for a goal kick.
I guess it is getting colder out when you look at our producer out here. More and more clothes have been added to him as this afternoon has gone on. Yes. It was sunny and beautiful when we started today.
A special thanks to our producer Randy Gore, cameraman Dave Keeling, braving the elements out there as the behind-the-scenes folks today in the broadcast. Collision there in the middle of the pitch, and a little bit unhappy there, the Thomas More player getting tangled up. I believe it was Mathis for Grove City, and it was. Thomas More player involved was Erica LaRosa.
Starting to see the physicalness that we saw during the men's game. It's reached the point here in the women's game. You know, scoreless at this point. Both teams are looking, obviously, to get on the board and take an advantage. So I think we're going to see some more physical play from each team.
I wouldn't be surprised, especially, as you said, if the score keeps up around this 0-0 spot. This one ricochets back toward the Thomas More defense, and Taylor Robinson takes it and moves it to the outside, and now Thomas More plays one long. Good ball play there. Looking for Huber on that far side. Tries to make a move around the defender and does. Gets it to her left foot, and the shot is blocked. Great job there by Jordan White coming over to make the play. And now it's back. Robinson tried to play one forward, but it was blocked again. Now with it is Sam Work, and that's taken away. Weitzel with a steal there. Moves it to Mathis. Tries to find Weitzel again on the outside, but that's stolen by Huber and moves it to Work. Work on the left side. And she has it knocked away out of bounds by Weitzel. Corner coming here for Thomas More as they try to sustain some pressure.
Some great stops by Grove City, but I'm just surprised they're not really booting the ball out of the zone to get it out of, Thomas Moore's way. Thomas Moore gets stopped, but they're getting the ball right back.
So corner kick coming here from this near corner down to our left, curving in. It's up off of the crossbar, I believe. The rebound is going to be shot by Allie Wimmers high and over the net. Some of the players were almost pointing from Thomas More like they thought they might have had a goal there, but never did cross the line, at least according to the referees, and it's just a goal kick for Grove City.
Yeah, there was a big scrum in front of the keeper there. It clearly didn't go in, but they looked like they knew something we didn't.
And here's work now to Huber. Huber tried the quick 1-2 with Sam Work, but it's cleared up away. And now into the game for Grove City, Sammy Wild. Moves it, Megan Van Kirk. And a freshman from North Allegheny finds it, go off of her feet and out of bounds. So you have Tobias, a freshman from North Allegheny for the men's team, and Megan Van Kirk, freshman for the women's team.
And the fine people of McKeesport should, have a talk to Mr. Gore. He's cheering for North Allegheny like he was born and raised up there.
Clock is stopped here as we have player, and I believe that's Buchanan.
It is interesting when you look at these rosters that there aren't too many players from either the men's or women's from Pittsburgh as much as there are from Ohio. It looks like there's a lot of, obviously, Kentucky, Ohio. I just find that interesting in that there's not a team or a school in the conference from the state of Ohio. There's a lot of players, so we see where everyone's recruiting from.
Absolutely, very soccer-rich state in a lot of parts of Ohio. Of course, Cincinnati just very close to Crestview Hills. As here's an opportunity maybe for Grove City. The shot on net is saved by Megan Barton. It was Abby Mathis with the chance for Grove City. Another shot on goal for the Wolverines, but that one gobbled up by Barton. Inside 7:30 to play in this opening half. We are still scoreless here.
Yeah. Beginning of the game, I was talking about Thomas More, showing their presence and, right off the bat, pushing it offensively. Grove City really, taking control of the ball, and they're trying to create as many opportunities as they can at this point. It's just not finding any luck, with that right now.
So Thomas More now tries to build some attack. Popped up into the air, and that's off the leg of Spofford. Now back close to midfield, played out by Robinson. On the wing now, the Saints move it inside. LaRosa, and she's going to put one toward the net, but no problem there for Christy Lathrop. Senior gobbles that up and boots it away, crosses midfield. Two Saints battling with Kuzelis there. Kuzelis again deflects it down toward the Thomas More side, and now it's blasted away into the Grove City end. Looking to the near corner here was Allie Wimmers, but it's going to be knocked back to our right. Thomas More with it again, though. And now Grove City. So the ball pinballing, back and forth. These two teams in the middle third. Sam Work giving chase, and it's Weitzel for Grove City, able to clear it away. And out of bounds throw incoming, and one substitute coming into the game here. Corey Ziegler, freshman midfielder. Checking out for the Saints was LaRosa. Here's Work. Tried to lift one in to the center of the 18-yard box. Instead, it's going to go out of bounds over the end line and a goal kick here for Grove City. 5:05 to play in this first half. Still scoreless women's championship tilt. Grove City and Thomas More. The Saints, the top seed, defeated W&J, the 4 seed, 5-0 to reach the final. Grove City, as we said in the open, took a little longer. They had to go to 9 rounds of penalty kicks to fend off third-seeded Westminster at College Field in Grove City earlier this week.
The way it's going, we might see a shootout.
Yeah, these two teams have been playing some pretty evenly matched soccer to this point.
Yeah. I think coming in, we talked in the pregame, we kind of expected more Thomas More. We expected, I think, at least a couple goals by now, but like you said, it's been pretty even.
To this point, a couple chances for each team. Nobody been able to find the back of the net. And here's a ball played long. Going to be deflected before taken here on the near side by Osborne, and she lifts it up and almost into the stands. And now Osborne will have the chance to throw it in. Now she'll just hand it off to Emily Sanker, and more substitutes into the game. Just one again for Thomas More. Chrissy Holt, the sophomore midfielder, another Cincinnati, Ohio native. Count them up, I believe it's 13 from Cincinnati on this Thomas More roster. Saints with it for a moment, taken away there by Abby Mathis, and now she moves it near side. And we're going to have a collision here and a foul called on Sanker and a free kick coming for the Wolverines. An opportunity here inside 3 minutes to play in this first half. Taking the free kick for Grove City is sophomore Jordan White. And goes down, and here's the ball played in toward the penalty spot, headed on there by Grove City and Lindsey Hutton, but that's going to be easily taken by Megan Barton, and she'll punt it away the other way. Some final scores now in PAC football that we can bring you. University of Chicago at home takes down Carnegie Mellon 28-7. Westminster at home 41-7 over Grove City. W&J clinches the automatic bid in the NCAA playoffs out of the PAC and at least a share of the conference crown, 49-18, winning on the road at Teal. And Thomas More 66, Case Western Reserve 34 in Crestview Hills, Kentucky. The Saints win that one with 60-plus points. Next week, of course, rivalry week in the conference. The Mercer County Cup. Backyard brawl down in Waynesburg. Lots of games with some implications in the PAC. Here in this one, obviously, championship on the line inside 2 minutes to play in the women's title match. Still scoreless here between Thomas More and Grove City. Far side, Wolverines on the attack. Maybe an opportunity here. Van Kirk trying to find somewhere to go. She's met by 2 or 3 Thomas More defenders, and the Saints try to take it the other way.
As much as I talked about Grove City's defense, Thomas More, I mean, they're, any opportunity Grove City gets, they're nixing it right away.
Here's another opportunity thwarted by Thomas More as Sam Work plays it out.
1 minute remaining in the half.
Here's the public address announcer maybe in the background. Less than a minute to play here as Kuzelis is knocked to the turf. And it's a free kick in a dangerous area here for Grove City. Referee stopped the clock to make sure the defender moved back. And here's Mathis with the free kick. Into the box, and it's up over the head of the keeper, but cleared away for a moment by Thomas More. Now lifted back in. Collision there at the penalty spot. Nothing called. And Thomas More tries to get it out of danger. Another collision on the near side. and this is going to result in a foul. Lindsey Hutton will pick that one up. Thomas Moore will kick it the other way inside 20 seconds to play in the opening half.
Grove City doing a great job there, trying to get a second chance from every shot they've taken.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6,
so inside
5,
10 seconds to play.
4,
Ball rolls down
3,
inside the
2,
18-yard box
1,
and picked up there
0.
by goalkeeper Lathrop. So that's going to do it for the first half. Pretty evenly played between the top-seeded Saints and the number 2-seeded Grove City Wolverines. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll break this one down and also talk to President's Athletic Conference Commissioner Joe Onderko, who will join us. So back in a moment again, halftime score 0-0 here between the Saints and the Wolverines. It's the PAC Sports Network with the 2014 Women's Soccer Championship.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
My name is Joe Qualls, and I work at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Graduated with a degree in biology. The main question that these students need to ask themselves, why do they want to go to college? If the answer is to get an amazing education, a well-rounded education, and to have all of the college experience, you're going to find that here at Thomas More. It just had this sense of family, this very intimate, loving environment that allowed us to grow. Well, Thomas More College is a part of my life. Without that part, I wouldn't be whole.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
Back at Highmark Stadium here, it's halftime of the 2014 Women's PAC Soccer Championships here on the PAC Sports Network. Dave Floyd, joined here by President's Athletic Conference Commissioner Joe Onderko. Joe, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for being here today.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and of course, this year, a different venue for these PAC Soccer Championships. We're here at Highmark Stadium, right across the Monongahela from the city of Pittsburgh. I mean, talk about what went into this decision and what kind of took to make this day possible.
Well, I think a couple of things went into this. First of all, the opportunity of this venue. This is obviously a fairly new venue, and we're seeing, to have a new professional soccer-only facility here in Pittsburgh gave us the opportunity. But I think we also had the need, and what I mean by that is, one of the things we've struggled with over the past several years has been with schools where the football team and the soccer team share a facility, which is a good number in the PAC. We get to this date, and you're at the PAC Soccer Championship. It's the penultimate event, and now you're trying to move it here or move it there or kind of shift times because you got a football game scheduled. And this kind of takes that problem out of the equation. So we wanted to give it a one-year trial to see how it does. Our athletic administrators, when they meet, will kind of do a full review of this and then make a decision for the future if this is something we want to continue or not.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it's been a great event to this point, as you've had a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're very happy with the turnout. It's been bigger than we expected. It was hard to put an estimate on it, but I think certainly folks in the soccer community in the PAC have embraced this. They've spoken that they feel this is a good thing for them, and I think it's a great spotlight for the sport, quite frankly, especially as you said, with such a wonderful setting here in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And Coach, you mentioned, Joe, you mentioned a little bit about the football games that go on Saturday afternoons here in the fall. And I mean, certainly some storylines to talk about there as we head into the last week here of the football season.
Well, it looks like we may have a PAC champion, at least a share of the championship, and an automatic bid. It looks like last we checked, Washington and Jefferson was in control of their game up at Teal. If they hold on to that, they will clinch a share of the PAC football title. And I think just more importantly, certainly for them, they will clinch the automatic bid to the 2014 NCAA Division III playoffs. So I know the Presidents would love to get that win today at Teal and not have, kind of have that hanging out there when they go to play Waynesburg next week in always such an intense rivalry contest. So, from that standpoint, it's been a great football season. Thomas More has had another great year. Certainly Waynesburg, Bethany was a surprise this year. But I think, all in all, just like soccer, I think the level of play in PAC football seems to rise this year. Certainly the addition of Carnegie Mellon and Case Western Reserve helped that. They've been great additions this fall, and so, yeah, it's been another great year.
Absolutely, and today is a busy day all around the conference, and we have one more conference champion to crown today as well, of course, with volleyball coming up here. Thomas More and Geneva getting set in that one. What should we expect in that matchup?
Well, Thomas More will be at home. They're the top seed, 28-4, and they're going to be hosting probably not who they thought they would be hosting. I think they were expecting to have another match with Bethany, who's number 2 seed, but the Bison upset last night by the number 3 seed Geneva. Not that big of an upset, really, if you follow this. Bethany was 16-2, Geneva was 15-3, so they're both very talented teams. But the Golden Tornadoes, who last won the PAC title 3 years ago, getting a crack at the Saints, and Thomas More trying to make it 3 PAC volleyball titles in a row.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a clean sweep here on a championship Saturday, as the men already have one in soccer, women trying for one, and then volleyball as well. And we said a busy Saturday. Also have some winter sports already underway, wrestling, swimming, and diving in action today. What are some storylines with those sports, and basketball as well, that we should watch as we kind of get set and get rolling here with the winter season?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to believe that basketball season's a week away. It always sneaks up on you so fast when you're so busy with the fall season. But I know, we kick it off next Saturday. It's hard to believe, the first games. I think it's going to be a very interesting basketball year. Certainly on the women's side, Thomas More with Sydney Moss, the number 2 team in the nation preseason, the overwhelming favorite. But they're going to have some adjustments. Obviously, they lose some of the really key parts of that team, the national quarterfinal team last year, like Devin Beasley and Katie Kitchen. They have some very talented kids coming up, but there will obviously be an adjustment there. And on the men's side, I think it's pretty wide open. St. Vincent's the 2-time defending champions, but they have also, lost Dylan Stipe and several other, some key parts to that team. I think certainly, Waynesburg was playing much better at the end of the year. I could see 4 or 5 teams on the men's side really being in the mix by the end of the season.
Yeah, it seems like that's certainly a balanced landscape there. You could see that go a number of different ways, but maybe get you out of here, on this one when you're looking at these soccer championships here. We got one more half to play. I mean, what do you expect out of the last half here from this one?
Well, I mean, I think it's interesting. Grove City, coming into this I think you'd have to say the overwhelming underdog. Thomas More, having such a prolific scoring season. I think, Grove City has to feel good where they're at. I mean, I think if you would ask Melissa Lammy, would you take being tied scoreless at halftime? Absolutely she would. As this game goes on longer, that's going to put more pressure on the Saints, I would believe. But, this is an explosive Thomas More squad. I mean, Olivia Huber, one of the best scorers in the nation. And, they're the type of team that, all they need to do is get one break and then the dam could burst open. So should be a very interesting matchup of styles here in the second half.
Absolutely. And Joe, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us here at halftime. That's Joe Anderko, Commissioner of the President's Athletic Conference. As we said, halftime of the Women's Soccer Championship. 0-0, back with more of the halftime show and eventually the second half here in a moment. It's the PAC Sports Network.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
When you are in need of fast, affordable, and professional voiceovers, contact TimeAd Productions. TimeAd Productions offers voice services for business presentations, documentary narrations, radio, television, imaging, and commercials, movie trailers, corporate phone systems, websites, audiobooks, and more. Visit or contact us online at www.timeadproductions.com.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
I'm Erica Gunther, and I'm a nursing student here at Thomas More College. Everybody knows each other. You can't go 10 feet down the hallway without saying hi to probably 3 people that you know from either a classroom or a sport or from meeting from one of the clubs or organizations here on campus, because we have so many of them. They want to show you what college is going to be like. You're a student and you're going to behave like a professional in your environment because that's what they're training you to be. Thomas More College is preparing me for success as a nurse.
0-0 the score at halftime here as we're back at Highmark Stadium on the halftime show here, 2014 Women's PAC Soccer Championships. And just taking a quick look back at how that half went. Just taking a look at the stats here in this one, as we said, fairly evenly played. Thomas More on top in terms of 8 shots to 5 for Grove City, but when you look at shots on goal, it's actually Thomas More with 3 and Grove City with a 4, so the Wolverines actually on top in that compartment. Of course, as we said, that physical play started to show up a little bit as well, John, as you look at the fouls, and it was 13 for Thomas More and just 2 for Grove City.
Yeah, huge difference right there. You could see early in the game, Thomas More was right on the attack. Grove City kind of struggled, but boom, out of nowhere, Grove City got possession of the ball, and we're holding their own. And I think with that is where maybe you see the the fouls came into play there. Thomas More trying anything to get back the ball and keep possession and make some things happen. So when you try to do that, whistles get blown. Hopefully they'll try to eliminate that in the second half. Both teams want to get on the board, and kind of like the men's game, we'll have to see what happens here. We thought both teams might start panicking, and boom, there was a goal for Thomas More. Maybe that will happen in the second half.
Yeah, the Saints, of course, with that big goal margin overall, scoring 94 on the year, giving up just 2. Certainly, I'm sure going to come out and try to start to put some of those totals together again here in this one. But I want to thank again PAC Commissioner Joe Anderko for joining us at halftime. We chatted a little bit about the upcoming basketball season and what to expect there. I want to remind you that the PAC Sports Network will tip off its 4th season of the PAC Basketball Game of the Week this winter, starting December 3rd when the Chatham Cougars host the Westminster Titans. Don't miss the exciting action of President's Athletic Conference basketball, including 12 men's and women's doubleheaders all winter long, and the PAC Championship on February 28th. Your home for the PAC Basketball Game of the Week is right here at www.pastream.net. We want to thank all of you joining us from home, or as we said in the first game, maybe it's a mobile device you're taking in the game from on this Saturday afternoon. But want to thank you for listening and watching and tuning in, and also have some folks here to thank as well in terms of here in the press box, Amanda Hulula, Washington and Jefferson, the fall 2014 PAC intern, Chris Coran from Grove City, our official scorekeeper and sports information director from Bethany, Jared Plate, and then also our web content social media manager from Grove City, Robert Audio. We want to thank all of those folks here in the press box, and also the fine people at Highmark Stadium here that have played a major part in bringing this all together. Sarah Guffey, the event manager, Amanda Fronick, the catering and concessions, Kim Bogesdorfer, Vice President of Business Partnerships, Chris Girardi, Facilities Manager, and Chris DeVivo, Vice President of Marketing. So plenty of folks have to come together to make an event like this happen, and it's certainly been a good one to this point, as we have maybe one half of soccer left and maybe more here this afternoon.
Yeah, but what a great day for the conference, for both men and women's soccer at this level, to be able to play at a facility like this and to change it up. Like the commissioner said, didn't have to worry about football games being played and where are you going to have the games at and when are you going to have them. It's great that this facility was open. Thomas More probably wish it was in their backyard, but it'll be worth the trip if they can at least take 1, maybe 2 championship trophies home with them today.
And it was interesting when I was talking to Coach Cummings. I mean, he was frank in the fact that it's a little bit disappointing that they both have the top seed and they'd be playing in front of maybe a lot of students and a lot of others who couldn't make that trip. But at the same time, he said this is exciting for the players to make a trip like this, and you're playing in a championship game. He said, if you look at how many teams are in the conference, this really isn't typically a normal thing for teams, and for each of these senior classes to have played in the championship game 4 years in a row for Thomas More, both the men's and the women's. I mean, that's certainly a feat in itself. So he said, this is for the players, and it'll be a good venue, even though they have to, make that trip out here to Western Pennsylvania. But the teams are out there on the field. Grove City all lined up and ready to go. Thomas More breaking the huddle, and we're just about set for the second half here. Women's Soccer PAC Championship from Highmark Stadium.
So it's going to be interesting to see how both teams come out of the gate here and what happens. Thomas More was on the attack right from the get-go of the game. Grove City slowly took their time, transitioned into their game, and they're going to boot it down the field now.
So we're underway here in the second half. Both of these teams trying to figure it out in that final third and trying to push one across the goal line into the back of the net. And who can get that first goal? Thomas More on the attack now. And with it is Emily Buchanan, and she'll turn around and go backwards, and the Saints will swing it around the back, and able to keep it in there nicely is Nicole Brown, and Thomas More will try to possess and move it forward. Great ball played through there for Olivia Huber. She's got Flaggy Eccles on the far side, also has a couple other players coming in. Here's a shot, and it's going to go high over the net. Sam Work, the player to put that shot toward the Grove City cage. Not on goal, though, and it's a goal kick for Grove City.
With Thomas More coming right out and getting that big opportunity going, you have to wonder what was said at halftime. What was it? The players themselves that stepped up and said, "Hey, we got to leave with a championship here. We didn't drive all this way to lose." And that being said, kind of curious what Grove City was talking about, at the half, and how proud I'm sure they all are of how they've hung in this game and controlled the ball. But at the same time, someone's got to score a goal, at this point in the game.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, victory here for Thomas More, as you said in that first game with the men's, would make that long bus ride home a bit easier. And in our post-game chat with the player of the game from the men's game, Mr. Jacobson, who scored that game winner in the second half, he said, "Oh yeah, it wasn't ideal last night driving in, but he said it'll be a good ride home with the championship trophy." So that's what the Saints women's team looking to do as well here in this one, as Huber and Flaggy Eccles go after it there, but Grove City able to control and move it back into the Thomas More end. But the Saints now back with it. Long ball played toward Huber, and Huber may have an opportunity now as it pinballs. She's got a chance, tries to play one to Flaggy Eccles, and she scores on the one-timer.
What a play. Just when the ball got, between two Grove City players, got the ball back. Thomas More, nice setup, follow through with that goal.
Absolutely. What a play there. It's Julia Flaggy Eccles, the freshman, and her first PAC title match. Huber makes the run. She's able to play it in, and the one-timer from Flaggy Eccles finishes it off 1-0. Saints take the lead here in this one very early on in the second half.
So now here we go. Grove City, you can't panic. You got to stay in this game and try to get that equalizer. Thomas More, you can't sit comfortably. It's only one goal.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. You still got to push forward and see if you can create some more separation if you're the Saints. And Grove City, of course, now has to try to find a way to get that equalizer. Here's another opportunity for Thomas More. Long free kick played in, headed there in the middle, but picked up nicely by Christy Lathrop.
You also have to wonder, when you were talking about halftime, the average of 4 goals a game. Are we seeing now Thomas More getting into their game? Are we going to see this open up and be a whole different half?
Yeah, still plenty of soccer to be played here. As we said, that goal occurring just a few moments into this second half. And that's that combination we talked about. As we said, Huber with 33 goals, 14 assists coming in. Flaggy Eccles with 22 and 15, so make that 33 and 15 and 23 and 15 as they up those numbers once again. Two of the leading point getters in the President's Athletic Conference.
Yeah, that goal didn't, things happened, but that goal almost looked like it was by design. Like it wasn't the first time those two have met, passing the ball with each other this season.
Yeah, I would beg to wager that certainly hasn't been the first time, as those two have been teaming up all season long, and they are in both goals, assists, and points, 1 and 2 in the conference.
And that goal was sort of what I was looking for in the first half. You could see with Eccles moving and trying to set up a pass, that we were going to see something like that from either one or the other. She was able to get the goal there, but we might see more shots like that coming up here in the second half.
Yeah, something to watch as we move forward here in the second half as Thomas More plays it ahead to Flaggy Eccles. And now Grove City controls. Kuzelis backwards, finds Emily Flanagan. Now Mathis up to Sarah Flanagan, and her touch is just too far out in front, and a good defensive play there by the Saints to get it up and across midfield, and now a ball deflected off of Eccles on that far side, out of bounds, and a throw in for Grove City. Mathis drops it back, and the ball played in the direction of Kristen Thomas. She's giving chase, and it's going to be up into the air and off the leg of the Thomas More defender. Throw in here for Grove City. She can't believe it. And that's Emily Buchanan unhappy with the call. But Thomas More able to get it up and away for the moment. Grove City still controls. Now the Saints. It's Huber. Had it and then lost it. Now Mathis for Grove City. Other way with Thomas More. Robinson drops it back for La Rosa. Now across, headed in. Huber heads it. And it's cleared away by Grove City. Just over 6 minutes gone here in the second half. Thomas More with that 1-0 lead now on the goal by Julia Flaggy Eccles. Thomas More on the attack again. Mathis tries to get a foot in there and take it away. Goes backwards, but Thomas More controls, and now deflected out of bounds. Throw in for the Saints on the far side.
Stop clock.
And we have a stoppage of the clock here as Abby Mathis had to go to one knee to take care of an untied shoe, but now we're underway again, and here's Eccles trying to the move in, and it's going to be a throw-in on that far side as the ball must have gone out over the touchline. That goal quieted the Grove City faithful here in this one.
Very quiet now.
Still standing down below us, especially the students to our right.
They're huddled up in blankets, trying to stay warm. Wait till it gets to wintertime. Well, by wintertime, everybody will be indoors and looking forward to that start of basketball season, so you won't have to worry about huddling up under the blankets and the hot chocolate, you know, come December, January.
You can even watch from comforts of your own home. Tune into PACstream.net, of course, and catch our games of the week all season long. As here's Thomas More with it. Owens moves it outside. Now the ball played toward Flaggy Eccles. She tries to get ahead on it. Instead, for Grove City, it was Zayacek, and now it's Hutton. She has her pass intercepted, and a foul called as going to the turf there was Buchanan.
Seemed like Thomas More definitely possessing the ball a lot more early on in the second half here. So this team is focused, and you know, like we talked about at the beginning of the game, their record, you know, their statistics are living up to it on the stage today.
4 shots to 0 so far in this second half for Thomas More. So certainly evidence to your point there, as the Saints now try to play a ball across the end line, and it's going to be deflected out of bounds for the throw-in on that far side. It was Sam Work trying to put the cross in.
And not too many corner kicks in this game. Only 3 in that first half.
And a 4th one here. Sanker to take it In swinging ball off the top of the crossbar, stayed in play, and Grove City able to clear it away. That one almost trouble, as in the men's semifinals, Grove City and Waynesburg, we saw the Yellow Jackets score right off of a corner kick. Ray Malone, the senior, so almost had a similar situation here in this one. Thomas More now on the throw. Brown tried to find Huber, and Grove City able to take it in the other direction. Ball played long into the center of that midfield circle. Up into the air, and Thomas More controls. Near side pass too far out in front of Nicole Brown. And the Saints go backwards once again, and it certainly seems like, in terms of from a possession standpoint, they've been able to settle it down and keep the ball on the turf and find feet, which has been a big difference in their play in this half so far for the Saints. As that ball rolls all the way to Lathrop, and the senior punts it away for Grove City. Mathis battling with Flaggy Eccles, loses that battle. Coming out with it is LaRosa. Near side now, Brown, and it's out for a Grove City throw-in. And Thomas More with a win here today would win their 4th straight PAC crown. And all of them come against Grove City here, at least these last few. Ball played back, and now up into the Grove City end by Thomas More. Saints possessing again. With it is Robinson. Far side to work. And now plays it back for Sanker. Carries it and tries to find feet. Target player in the middle of the field, knocked down there was LaRosa, and now the other way for the moment went the Wolverines. Instead now it's Brown on this near side. Hutton defending, and Hutton just has to poke it out of bounds. Throw in here coming for the Saints. Almost a third of the way through this second half here. Thomas More with that 1-0 lead, scoring in the opening moments. Huber to Flaggy Eccles. And Huber now to throw.
Yeah, that goal definitely set the tone for the second half. It's pretty much been all Thomas More all the time since that goal.
And the Saints possession now, throw in. Brown, good move around Hutton there. Tried to play one in, but that's cleared away. Off the head of Kristen Thomas and out of bounds for a throw. There's Flaggy Eccles trying to get it to Huber. Can't quite do it. Good defense there by Grove City. Ball played into the box. Knocked around. Huber trying to find it and put it in the back of the net, but a good block there by Jordan White on defense for Grove City. And boy, they escaped there as Thomas More, another good opportunity to try to poke one home, and here's Huber again.
Yeah, play like that, I can see why she has so many goals. Playing the ball with her body and back to it, and she still was able to make a sort of a play there with 2 defenders surrounding her.
And here's Flaggy Eccles giving chase, and now a shot off there by LaRosa. That's blocked, and now another shot attempt, this time by Work, and that goes well off to the right of the cage, and a goal kick for Grove City. But Thomas More keeps the pressure on here in these first 15 minutes of the second half. Goal kick here being handled by Jordan White. The sophomore has done a lot of those duties for the Wolverines here to this point. But Thomas More controls again now Grove City. with it there was Spofford, gets it to Mathis. Tries to find on this near side Lindsey Hutton, but it's going to go out of bounds for another Thomas More throw. Good step there from the defenders, Zayacek, but now Huber has it again, working on that right side, tries to play one in, and it's off of the freshman Emily Flanagan, and another throw in here for Thomas More. Substitute into the game. Nicole Brown comes out, and Caitlin Armentrout, the freshman, comes in, another one of those Cincinnati, Ohio natives on this Thomas More squad. Long throw there from Huber, flicked on toward Flaggy Eccles, able to get a foot on it, out, and a shot attempt here is going to go wide to the right. Coming up for that one, it looked like Robinson putting the shot on target.
Yeah, with each ticking second here, Grove City's losing their chances. They really need to make some things happen here, create some opportunities, but we got some fresh legs coming into the game now, so this could be the Wolverines' time to do something.
Yeah, a couple substitutes is Sarah Flanagan, as well as Lindsey Hutton check out of the game. Bringing those fresh legs, as you said. Thomas More, though, still possesses. Flaggy Eccles moving it outside. Ball played into the middle toward Huber. Now Huber does have it, top of the 18. Tries to get around a couple defenders. And now Flaggy Eccles with a shot, punched up into the air. Good save there for Grove City, Christy Lathrop.
Great save. You got to also look at that footwork there by Huber. Absolutely perfect. Trying to get around those defenders, and they created a shot for the Saints. I'm surprised we haven't seen more goals, but at the same time with that stop there, you can also see why it's only 1-0.
Yeah, good job by this Grove City defense to this point. And goalkeeper Lathrop handling this Thomas More attack as ball headed back and forth near midfield. Grove City finally gets it settled down and controlled. And Flanagan sees it go off of her shins and out of bounds for a Thomas More throw in. Huber trying to pop it up over top of Flanagan. Now Huber gets it back. Flaggy Eccles for somewhere to go. Down to the ground to make that play on defense was Spofford. You hear some groans from the Grove City faithful there. Wanted a foul called against Thomas More. Instead, the Saints have it. Eccles again drops it back. Long shot attempt there by Armentrout. It's going to go over the top of the net. 27-40 and counting in regulation time here. Thomas More still with a 1-0 lead over Grove City. Of course, an NCAA tournament spot on the line, and obviously the PAC championship trophy as well.
Thomas More playing very patient right now. They're, right there. They didn't try to force that shot. They tried to set up an even better one. Just a little high at that point, but they have been on the attack steady since getting that first goal.
And here's Huber trying to use one touch to poke it up over top of the goalkeeper, but too high, out of bounds. Another goal kick here as the shots continue to pile up here in the second half for Thomas More. 18 now overall for the Saints. So 10 shots for Thomas More, none yet for Grove City here in the second half.
Very busy part of the field down here. Of course, the one side that I'm struggling to see. I've been leaning on this garbage can trying to get a better vantage point, but well, we'll see. Grove City needs to pick it up so I can see more of the game.
And a free kick here is knocked away and out toward midfield. Giving chase there was Sammy Wild for Grove City. And now it's back toward Wild again on that far side, and deflects out of bounds. Throw in coming here for the Wolverines. And the Thomas More defense, the times they have handled it, done a nice job moving it around the back and been able to clear it out or keep possession and move forward along the ground. This time, though, Grove City was able to regain possession, and it's Emily Flanagan to throw on this near side. Finds Thomas. Out of bounds for another throw. Middle of the field. Ball played up, trying to find Flaggy Eccles. Had it at her feet for a moment before Grove City was able to take it away. Now near side, Emily Flanagan finds Thomas. Knocked away once more by Buchanan. And now Huber after the throw. Huber cuts inside. Finds Flaggy Eccles, surrounded by 3 defenders, drops it back. Ball played in toward Huber, heads it in the direction of the goal, but it'll go wide left. And another goal kick coming here for Grove City.
If Thomas More has an offensive playbook, they're definitely pulling out some plays now because they're doing the give and go and setting up for the best shot they can get right now. And Grove City's defense doing a fine job, but they're letting Thomas More have the attacks.
And Thomas More brings in some fresh legs. Allie Wimmers, the freshman midfielder. Another freshman, Abby Stadmiller, comes in as well. Huber checking out of the game.
She needs a rest. She's been all over the place at that end on the offensive attack the second half here.
Yeah, certainly done plenty for this Thomas More team to this point. The assist on the Flaggy Eccles goal. And here's a ball played in the direction of Flaggy Eccles. Gets around the defender for a moment. Has to retreat. Keeps possession. Drops it back. Good move there by Armentrout. Flaggy Eccles plays it across. Maybe an opportunity here in front. Right at the penalty spot. Went right by one of the attacking players for Thomas More. And cleared away by Grove City.
I think the one Thomas More forward there was looking for a teammate behind her to step up.
Didn't quite happen. But boy, that could have been an opportunity there in front of the net for Thomas More.
Yeah, the shots on goal definitely have changed since the first half.
No doubt about it as we take another peek at the running total. 19 for the Saints. So 11 here in the second half. Still none for the Wolverines.
Yeah, this game has definitely been played on the right side here of the field. Thomas More just driving the entire second half here. Possession has been in their favor the entire second half.
Free kick coming now for the Saints. Ball's driven in along the ground, and it's going to go wide of the net to the left. Substitutes coming now for Grove City. 9, 17, and 19. That's Alina Guerrera, Ellen Benbow, and Lacey Harkrader all checking into the game. Harkrader, of course, scored the deciding PK in the 9th round of the shootout in the semifinals. So maybe some new players can provide a spark here for Grove City as they try to mount some sort of attack here and find some way to tie this thing up.
You got to think it's kind of tough for this, the girls in this game. They've been here since early this morning, had to sit around, watch the men's game. I know when I got here around 10 o'clock, it was the women out on the field, and they were trying to stretch and try to stay loose. But then you have a whole game to sit through before you get to take the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And see hockey players with that morning skate, at least at the National Hockey League level, and it was almost like that, at least with the Thomas More women's team out there getting a couple runs in. Just as you said, probably just keep those legs fresh, even though you still have a whole game to watch.
So it's been a long day for everybody here. Thomas More driving in last night. Probably got here first thing this morning. everyone wanted to stay loose. Grove City driving down this morning. Probably was a very early morning for them. And then for the ladies here to sit around, to watch a game, and then have to take the field afterward.
And so far, it's been Thomas More that's been able to make the most of the situation. 1-0, they have the lead as we tick down close to 20 minutes to play in this opening half. A long shot there by the Wolverines, first of the second half, easily taken by Megan Barton, and she rolls it out. Get things started again for Thomas More. And now a long ball played there by Osborne as she looked to swing it and switch fields, but it wasn't available there to try to get it to the far side, so she played it long, and now we have a free kick in the middle of the field for Grove City. Their side of the field, but inside that center circle. 19:40 to be exact left to play. As a free kick being taken here by Jordan White, lifts it into the box, Barton out, and she's able to make the play there. Megan Barton, the sophomore, comes out, and she's done what she's had to do so far here in this one to keep the clean sheet.
It's one of the best opportunities Grove City had in the second half. It was a heck of a kick downfield, and it's right on goal.
Yeah, it's been White all game long, playing those goal kicks, the free kicks in those areas. Trying to get some offense started in that way. Far side giving chase for Thomas More. It was Stadmiller. Unable to get to it, and a throw for Grove City as we have another train rolling by on the opposite side of the field. Thomas More with possession now. That's what they're going to try to do, is just keep the ball at their feet, keep it moving, let the ball do the work, and hopefully maybe add some insurance here. And can they do it here? It's Flaggy Eccles in on goal again, and this shot goes just wide to the left, to the right of goalkeeper Lathrop. And it's going to be a goal kick again for Grove City, but somehow the freshman found her way behind the defense again.
Heck of a play, and it seems like every play that she's been on, she's been surrounded by another, two defenders, have to take on the goalkeeper, so kind of a one-on-three situation she's faced the entire game.
And here for Thomas More, breaking free with a little bit of space is Buchanan. Gets it to Flaggy Eccles, drops it back. Shot on goal is going to be stopped there from Lathrop. Good job by La Rosa to get a nice shot off. But Lathrop up to the task. And she throws it out quickly. Guerra. Inside now, they try to go back outside, and it's stolen by Thomas More. So the Saints continue to do what they need to do to thwart these Grove City attempts to mount an attack and try to tie this thing up. Right corner, throw in for Thomas More. Armentrout up to take it, but we have a substitute here for the Saints. La Rosa checks out. Nicole Brown back in.
It's pretty interesting to think that this Thomas More team that we're talking about, most of the players are, they're still coming back next year.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, they don't have a ton of seniors on this roster. As you look down through, just 4 seniors on this Thomas More roster, and especially when you have the likes of a Huber who's back onto the field, 4 Eccles who's coming off, a junior and a freshman respectively, a lot of other young players. It should be a good program here for a couple years to come at least.
Exactly. When you talked about all the stats in the beginning of the game, you weren't talking about a pair of seniors, a junior and a freshman, and for a program to have that return, no matter what happens, the rest of this season, it's something to look forward to, for next year.
Yeah, and talking with head coach Cummings, this Huber maybe with an opportunity here, top of the 18, trying to make a move around a couple defenders, but a good job by Grove City to take care of that. But talking with Coach Cummings earlier in the week, he said, don't forget about Abby Stadmiller. She's coming in as a freshman. She's got 7 goals, 5 assists pretty good year for a freshman,
Not
but
bad at all.
It's obviously overshadowed, by the totals of Flaggy Eccles with 22 and 15, and then of course you have Huber, the junior, with her huge number, 80 points coming in, make it 81 after today. So, yeah, there's certainly a lot returning for this Saints squad, as they will, if they can hold on here today and pick up their 4th straight, hopefully look to defend and go for a 5th next year and then in years to come.
Yeah, most teams would love to have a senior put up numbers like that, but they have a couple freshmen, junior, really contribute right off the bat. That's that's awesome for the program. Coach Cummings, he's got a lot to look forward to, the rest of this season, as the men's are going to keep playing. Hopefully the women are going to keep playing here, and then start fresh next year with a solid core to both teams.
And here's a long free kick played into the box, flicked on off the head of one of the Thomas More players, and now cleared away for a throw-in. But yeah, still, if the women can hold on here, obviously the men are already through the NCAA tournament. They're seeking their first win in the first round, so that's what they're really seeking to do. And then when you look at this women's team, last year they were 19-2-2, 9-0, and of course PAC champs. They beat Allegheny 2-1. They beat Hanover 1-0 in the NCAA tournament, first and second round. Made it all the way to the section semifinals. It played at Washington University in St. Louis, went up against OAC foe Capital and fell 2-1 in that one. So you lose a 1-goal game in the NCAA sectional semifinals, and you bring back some key players from that team. You bring in some freshmen like you have here in this one, and I'm sure if they can hold on here and stave off any attacks by Grove City and win this game, they'll be looking to go even further here in 2014.
You want to think like a lot of the veteran players, they've been in big games before, but when we talk about the stats, it's these younger players and the underclassmen. This is all new to them, but they're playing like some veterans, and that's what any coach would love to have at this point in the season.
No doubt about it. And at this point, if played as many minutes as some of them have, there, it's almost that old adage, not freshmen anymore. So
exactly.
At this point, they're seasoned vets.
Yeah, just like in the men's game, we saw a freshman make his second start, and it was in the championship game, for Grove City. Like you said, at this point, everyone's been there now. It's been a long season already.
Here's a ball played through by Huber. Good job coming out and making the play there for Grove City. Lathrop, and she'll punt it away. Yeah, you mentioned Malcolm Blake, freshman goalkeeper for Grove City. Played admirably in that first game. Really not sure there was much he could have done on that shot by Jacobson. Fantastic left-footed shot from the senior.
It didn't matter who was in that, with that shot. That ball was going in no matter what. He made a great play for it. It just, went top shelf corner.
Offsides call here on Huber. So a free kick coming out for Grove City. Time running out here for the Wolverines. We're down close to 12 minutes to play in this one. Thomas More trying to hold on here. Won their 4th straight PAC crown. Last year, as we mentioned, it was the same matchup. Thomas More and Grove City. And Thomas More with a 1-0 victory in that one. And it was Olivia Huber scoring on a rebound, just 1:49 into the second half. So eerily similar to how this
Very
one
similar.
has gone to this point. So we have a collision on the far side. Once again, you hear some groans. The Grove City faithful, I think, wanting a foul called, but instead it's just a throw-in for the Saints as they try to tack on an insurance tally, as they did in the second half against Grove City in the regular season meeting between these two teams.
So with each second again winding down, Grove City is going to have to look for somewhere to find some opportunities here, and then maybe catch Thomas More off guard. They haven't played on the defense too much this second half at all.
Yeah, you got to find some type of counter here or build some type of attack. Some substitutes coming in, a pair of 10s Erica LaRosa for Thomas More, as this shot is bobbled for a moment by Lathrop, but she's able to pick it up, as well as Catherine Uzelis, the leading point getter, with 13 for Grove City, both into the game now. Thomas More controls once more. Ball played in toward the top of the 18-yard box, headed away, and now Abby Mathis chases after that. Mathis, it fell at the feet of Ellen Benbow for a moment. Now it's knocked all the way down into the box, and White has to just clear it out over the touchline on the far side for a throw. More substitutes coming in, and the clock hits 10 minutes to play, so that's all that stands between Thomas More and their fourth straight PAC crown. If they're able to hang on here against Grove City, they lead it 1-0. 2014 Women's Championship match here from Highmark Stadium. Ball played across. Huber was right there, but unable to get anything on it, as Lathrop was right there as well, and it just went right past both of them. Almost an insurance tally that the Saints have been looking for there, as it was a good ball played and Huber just couldn't quite find it. And the goal kick is directed back toward Huber once again, and she's able to kind of hang out deep there as you have White taking the goal kick, so you have that defender back, no offsides call, nowhere to play it into there though from Huber. And now Grove City tries to go the other way. Here's Thomas working on LaRosa. Can't quite sneak by her, and then LaRosa gets help from her teammate Robinson. And a throw in for Thomas More. Ticking close now to 8:30 left in the second half. Kuzelis for Grove City. Goes backwards. Finds Zajac. Good move around Huber there. Grove City trying to keep it at their feet. Possess. Referee plays advantage. Far side now for the Wolverines, and they lose possession. And the ball's played up toward Flaggy Eccles. Saints trying to counter here. Eccles running with it all the way on a diagonal to this near side. Nearly lost control. But she keeps it. It's going to be a throw in here. Quick restart. She finds Brown. Brown again now. Taken out of the play. Flaggy Eccles with it. So run towards the end line. Tries to cross it in. Huber's there. But a good job by White to clear it away. And here, finally get a whistle from the center referee as Thomas is knocked down by Brown. A pair of number 5s battling there.
Yeah, we're seeing more physical play, and you gotta understand why at this point with a little bit more than 7 minutes remaining. Grove City, then they gotta make something happen here.
All played toward the top of the 18-yard box and now cleared away by Thomas More. Counterattack again. And White up to the task again.
Sitting back and protecting that 1-goal lead is not what Thomas Moore's done at all. They've been on the attack since the get-go and punching that first goal, and they've just been making Grove City's defense and goalkeeper work extra hard this game.
Yeah, they've certainly been pushing us, particularly in this second half. Well, I guess that's the only time they've had that 1-goal lead is in the second half, but yeah, really controlled a good bit of the play, as you said.
Yeah, Grove City was doing a great job, you know, especially late in the first half, controlling it, trying to make a push, setting up some opportunities. The second half, they got real quiet, and especially after that first goal.
Trying to make some noise now, though. Far side with it for the Wolverines. It was Benbow. She loses it, and now a foul in the center of the field. Thomas More player dragged down. Like LaRosa. And a foul picked up there by Sarah Flanagan. Free kick here as we're inside 6 to play. Long ball played into the box. Flaggy Eccles giving chase. Headed away for the moment there by Grove City. Headed again by White. And now it's knocked over to this near side. Job by Brown to track it down. Tries to get around Hutton, but she's there. Is Hutton to knock it out of bounds. More substitutes checking in. For Thomas More, it's Kate Owens back into the game. And back in for Grove City, Holly Spofford. Throwing it in will be Nicole Brown. 5:05 to go. Brown on the quick 1-2 with Flaggy Eccles. And it's going to be another throw in here for Brown. Thomas Moore trying to maybe push one more home. And an offsides call here on Flaggy Eccles, unable to get back behind that last Grove City defender. And White will take another kick for the Wolverines. One there by Brown, but she heads it right out of bounds, so a throw in for Grove City. You can sense some urgency now. Lindsey Hutton, the freshman, races to the ball, throws it in. Thomas Moore sends it back the other way. Now Flaggy Eccles drops it to Brown. And that ricochets off of Zajac out of bounds. 4:10 to go. Countdown is on if you're on the Thomas Moore side. Grove City trying to move it forward here, middle of the field. Tipped ahead by Spofford. Giving chase now for Grove City. That's Van Kirk. Out of bounds, Van Kirk the quick throw. Thomas plays it in. Far side, Sarah Flanagan. To Weitzel, plays it in, and it's going to go wide to the right of the goal and out of bounds over the end line for a goal kick. So that attack stopped, at least for the time being. Flaggy Eccles getting some direction from head coach Cummings. Has the goal kick taken here by the Saints. All the way across midfield, but won by Weitzel. Thomas now flicks it ahead. Van Kirk, then Thomas, and Hutton keeps it in. Right to Brown, though. She plays it back toward midfield. Now Thomas again.
Grove City not giving up. They're trying to make something happen here. Not much time to do it, but they're trying. They give them credit. Could have easily sat back and let this game, go completely away, but they're fighting.
Yeah, just about in desperation mode here. 2:30 to go in the 2014 PAC Championship here, women's edition.
Still the outcome. No matter what it is, you got to give Grove City a lot of credit for what they've gone through this year, starting the season with just one win in 10 games and making such a strong run in conference play and 9 shootouts.
And there's a yellow card given to Lindsey Hutton.
In that semifinal game, in the 9 sessions of a shootout they fought through to get to this game. So heck of a season, and what a fight Grove City to play in this championship game.
Yeah, again, Thomas More 19-1. Their one loss was a 1-0 defeat at Ohio Northern. Other than that, they've won every game by at least 2 goals.
And they were expected from the beginning of the season to be here. And they followed through with that. Grove City, they earned their trip and fought hard to make it here.
Certainly did. We tick inside 2 minutes to go in this one. Grove City trying to find anything left in the tank. Push across an equalizer. Mathis fighting in the middle with Buchanan. Mathis able to get it across midfield. Now it goes back to Lathrop. She picks it up, I would imagine. Now she'll roll it short. Weitzel Good defensive play there by Thomas Moore on the far side. Flaggy Eccles now tries to take it to the corner potentially. And she might play one in, and she will. She'll put one in the direction of Huber, top of the 18-yard box. Huber controls. Back to La Rosa. Now Brown. Brown takes it to the near corner and off the foot of the Grove City defender. That was Zajac. And now Thomas More can take their time as we tick inside 1 minute to play in the championship match. And Thomas More went with a short corner, and they were just trying to waste as much time as possible on this near side, and they've been able to do a good job of that.
Physical game from beginning to the end.
And 30 seconds to play. Grove City's got to hurry here. Does White have one more long boot in her? And she does. Able to get it up to midfield, but it's two Saints there to play it back in the direction of White. Weitzel out toward Kuzelis. A foul here on Thomas More. 12 seconds to play.
10,
the countdown is on here. The clock is stopped at 8 seconds. And it will start on the restart here. As soon as White touches it, and there it is.
7, 6.
Played into the box,
5,
top of the 18.
4,
maybe an opportunity
3,
for Hunt. No, it's cleared
2,
away.
1,
and that
0.
is going to do it. It is the same fate as in the men's game. Thomas More,
Saints 1,
your 2014 PAC champions.
0.
That is 4 straight for the Saints. And they go back to the NCAA tournament.
Heck of an accomplishment for both programs. Keep this tradition going here by grabbing championships in both the men's and women's.
And they'll try to go for 3 here in this one on this championship Saturday. Of course, the volleyball match set to get underway at about 5 p.m. So as I look down, it's about 5:01. So that is probably underway as well. Thomas More looking for 3 here on this Saturday. But again, final score here from Highmark Stadium. Thomas More 1, Grove City 0. We're back to wrap this one up and name our player of the game in a moment on the PAC Sports Network.
Disability affects the lives of over 29,000 people in Fayette, Washington, and Greene counties. Tri-County Patriots for Independent Living are people with and without disabilities working to meet those needs in the community. The success of Triple comes from the commitment of a dedicated board of directors, its members, and volunteers. To continue to improve services, Triple is renovating the historical YWCA building located at 42 West Maiden Street in Washington. This will allow for an assistive internet cafe, increased veteran services, and transportation and wellness to provide skills to help with independent living. Your help and feedback are appreciated, and if you seek assistance, we're here to help.
We're here at Sport Clips, the new just for guys haircutting place, to see what the buzz is about. How was it?
Nice cut, nice price, professional stylist. Doesn't get any better than this.
There's sports on TV at every chair.
I got an awesome haircut, steam towel treatment, neck and shoulder massage. I went all the way!
What are you waiting for? Sport Clips is now in your neighborhood. At Sport Clips, guys win.
With 2 locations in Washington County, at the McMurray Shops in Peters Township and at Trinity Point in Washington.
When you're seriously in debt, you know that feeling. It returns every time the phone rings. Things are out of control. A job you were counting on didn't come through, or you got sick. No matter how it got to this point, your creditors don't care or understand, but I do. It's not too late. I can help. If you're embarrassed, overwhelmed, or frustrated, don't be. I'm not here to judge. I'm here to help, and you do need help. Please call me. There is a way out, and I'll get you there.
Faith and freedom are far-reaching matters for us. The freedom to pursue a calling in life and the faith that it will make a big difference. The freedom to use the value of an education to pay it forward and a Christian faith to make it count. At Grove City College, faith and freedom create opportunities. And that's why faith and freedom matter.
My name is Michael Stevens. I am a junior biology major, and I'd like to become a physician. Thomas More is awesome. You get so many opportunities here in the way of academics, on-campus activities, athletics. You really get to know your professors. There are a lot of really difficult classes, but I can honestly say that the education that I've gotten out of them is unsurpassed, and I really don't think I could have gotten it in any other institution.
The NCAA will announce its field.
Back here at Highmark Stadium, the Thomas More College Saints have just been awarded their championship trophy here for their fourth straight PAC crown as they gather around the banner here to take the team photo after the championship. And they're just taking a look back at how this one unfolded. The first half, pretty evenly played match. If you look back at the shots in that first half, Thomas More with 8, Grove City with 5, and the Wolverines actually had more on goal in that first half than did Thomas More. But evenly played match, halftime 0-0. And then we talked about a couple times, both in the men's and the women's game, how important that first couple minutes is of the second half. And just like last year in this PAC championship match, the Thomas More Saints able to jump out quickly, and it was Julia Flaggy Eccles able to get the goal off an assist from Olivia Huber, and boy, that's a combination that we've seen plenty of this year, and we saw it again here in this one.
And for Thomas More, hopefully one that will continue to pay off, the rest of this season and in the future. Great combination of players, of play from those two players, and they got some more games to play here. It's not over at this point. I'm sure those two are going to make some things happen.
Oh, no doubt about it, as they will both be back, and this Thomas More team will be back as well, as they qualify for the 4th straight year for the NCAA tournament. So last year again went all the way to the sectional semifinals, and they'll try to go even further here in this one. And now you have both teams, it looks like, down on the field getting some photos taken, both PAC champion teams. So with that, it's about time for us to take a look at our second half stats. Quickly, our overall stats for the game. Thomas More, 21 shots to Grove City 7. On goal was just a 6-5 advantage for the Saints, but certainly scoring opportunities, especially in that second half with Thomas More. Corners 5-0 in favor of the Saints. Fouls, the Saints doubled up the Wolverines 18-9, and then 1 yellow card for Grove City on the day. But when you're looking individually, a great game from Olivia Huber, as she's had all year long. Assisted on the only goal, registered 5 shots. But our Foster Law Office's player of the game today goes to Julia Flaggy Eccles, the freshman. Registered 3 shots on the day, and of course the big one that went on goal and into the goal, and that was just a few minutes into the second half that gave her team the victory. And big performance from the freshman in a moment like that.
Absolutely. Game was definitely won in the second half. You could see from the beginning of the game she was making her presence known in the box. She stepped up at the right time and got that much needed goal. So great play from her, great play from Huber. We've said it so many times, it's a great connection those two have, and they play so well together. Hopefully they're going to lead this Thomas More team further down the road now.
Yeah, so we'll make sure to keep our eyes out and kind of check out what these two teams are going to be doing in the NCAA tournament. It may not be it for these Grove City teams either. Of course, plenty of times in the past these two have qualified for the ECAC tournament or some form of it. So we'll see what happens if that's the case again for the Grove City Wolverines on both the men's and women's side. But that's just about going to do it for us here on our post-game show. John, appreciate you joining me here tonight. It's been fantastic. Any final thoughts for you as we sign off here from Highmark Stadium?
Just a fantastic day for the conference, being able to play at this facility and bring the game of soccer up a notch, in the conference eyes of being able to play on a bigger level. Take it out of the college facilities and played in a neutral site. This was a nice day for the conference.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Great venue, great games. We had 2 one-goal games, 2 1-0 games. So certainly a fantastic day for the PAC and for soccer in this conference. But that is just about going to do it for us here. For John DeBruzzo, our cameraman Dave Keeling, and our producer Randy Gore, I'm Dave Floyd saying so long again. Final score in the women's game. Thomas More wins it 1-0, and for the 4th straight time, they are the PAC champions. So long, everybody.